Hi everyone, and welcome to a very basic video because it's a Friday evening and this is being dropped on us all. So there's no time to prepare for these things when we don't know what's happening. So the latest milestone for WARNO, the Oudinot update, is here. It's the anniversary of WARNO today, so go download it. Simple as that. I will have a quick look through what they've said here, but if you've got the game, you might as well go download it and start playing. But yeah, basically, they had planned to release Oudinot 2 days ago, but the latest version was plagued with a host of issues. And they have a new version which they tested and validated, but usually they don't like to release updates on a Friday afternoon. Simple reason is if something goes wrong over the weekend, they have a harder time to fix it, which obviously we know, we've said that before. In this case, they debated between rebranding the milestone Grouchy and delaying it till next week, or naming it Hail Mary, and they opted for the latter, so they just released it into the wild today. So without further ado, there you go, you have Oudinot. So we'll have a little look through the update logs. I won't go through the patch notes. They are available separately, and I will link them in the description below. So they also took some time to detail a rework of NATO's 3rd Armored Division, as well as list the new unit traits, including what they do in the game and why. So, an overview. So to be exact, Oudinot will only bring the 2 new divisions and units listed below. Furthermore, next to this milestone, a major patch including all of the other relevant new features and mechanics from unit traits to maps is now available. So I'm really confused. Oudinot will only bring the 2 new divisions. I think it's just the way they've worded it, but what they mean is Oudinot is the divisions, and everything else is just included with it. So Oudinot's 2 new divisions focused on the fictional Battle of Berlin for 1989, NATO's Berlin Command, and the Warsaw Pact's Unternehmen Zentrum. So read more about the multinational Berlin Command and its mix of equipment and fighting over in the previous devlog, and I have a video on that somewhere. And you can also check out the urban warfare experts of the East German and Soviet Unternehmen Zentrum, and again on a previous devlog. Oudinot also contains a host of new units, including but not limited to the F-117 stealth fighter bomber, the FV-432 Raden, and the SPW-PZH, and the Wachsuchen, etc., etc. So, if I scroll down slightly, the new tutorials from the basic infantry tactics to how to best use seaplanes is also available. So yes, some of the tutorials are now in the game. You can go and play them and give your feedback. A new map, Rock, an 83 square kilometer battlefield, playable in 3 vs 3 with lots of verticality in its environments. There's a new 2v2 version of the loop map. Black Forest has obviously been reworked, and that is available and was detailed in the last devblog. The new Destruction Mode variant of Mount River, Vertigo, Danger Hills, Triple Strike, Death Row, Cyrus, Volcano, Iron Waters, Chemical, Geyser, and Crown. All newly announced, those last 4. They have in brackets. The new unit trait system, see below for a full overview of each trait and what it does in game and our reasons for creating them. The new amphibious ability for certain land vehicles, new destruction textures, a new combat system rework increasing the importance of suppression, new hit point suppression UI display, which is newly announced, and the command unit overhaul. After capturing command zone, command units are no longer required to stay in the zone to control it. However, some things they didn't make in the patch on time, and these will come shortly, namely the FOB, the Forward Operating Base, and the new urban map, Twin Cities. Expect these to be delivered as soon as possible. So there's the 3rd Armored Division rework to talk about. With the introduction of the new unit trait system, we decided that the American 3rd Armored Division should focus more on the new IFV infantry trait. This trait gives mechanized fire teams or infantry fire teams transportable by an IFV, a so-called shield against suppression when dismounted and fighting near the IFV. Or an IFV, I should say. It doesn't necessarily have to be theirs. First off, a new command unit will be featured by the Spearhead Division in-game, the M2A2 Bradley, and this will be found in the Logistics tab. Though not a transport, the vehicle still grants the IFV infantry bonus to nearby fire teams. So it's a command vehicle and it gives the IFV bonus. All the traits are on the unit cards. You'll see them, straightforward enough. Furthermore, we're adding the Fireteam 84 units to the 3rd Armoured Division's arsenal. On top of this, all Fireteam units, 84, Law and Dragon, will be available with 3 cards each. On the other hand, the Mech Rifles units will be reduced to 1 card only. Lastly, Mech Rifles leader units are replaced by the smaller Fireteam leader units, riding into battle in a Bradley and featuring the IFV infantry trait. So let's have a little look at these new traits. So first, we've already talked about the new unit traits to a certain extent, but now we can share a full list with you. This includes in-game descriptions, effects, and a brief explanation of our intention with each trait. So, Reservist. This unit is made of part-time soldiers, such as hastily called up reservists, former police, or militia. While not cowards with less training and older equipment, they should be considered second-rate troops. So the Reservist units take more suppression in combat. This trait will be given to non-military police forces such as the BGS, FR Reserve Polizei, VOPOS, as well as reservist militia units, the Heimatsuchen, the KDA, the reservists. The British Territorials are not included, as historically they lean closer to being active reserves. They will remain veterancy locked, however. Leader. So this headquarters unit features commanders and critical command and control equipment, including radio and other communication devices. This allows for more effective tactical leadership on the battlefield. Leader units grant +1 veterancy to all nearby units. So by default granted to all command units and vehicles, this trait can be found with infantry and other units such as tanks, APCs, IFVs, or helicopters. Resolute. This unit is composed of soldiers who are highly motivated, well-drilled, and politically indoctrinated. Going into battle with plenty of enthusiasm, these eager troops will endure even the hardest battlefield conditions in stride. Resolute units take less suppression in combat. Foremost, this trait was introduced to represent East German troops, considered by friends and foes as the most ideologically indoctrinated and determined of the Warsaw Pact forces. The Resolute trait will be featured with all their frontline troops, except for units such as artillery, AA, logistics reservists, and a few non-DDR units such as the French Legionnaires Paras, who will also gain this trait. Military Police. This unit features the oft detested military police. As law enforcement, they ensure order behind the lines and instill harsh discipline within the army's ranks. Military police units grant suppression, regeneration bonus, and remove any reservist trait of nearby units. All current military police units, including MP, Privaté, RMP, and Field Jäger, will receive this trait. The Warsaw Pact counterparts to these units will be added soon. The IFV infantry. So this was one we mentioned earlier. So this unit is composed of soldiers trained for combat with infantry fighting vehicles and fighting side by side once dismounted. This follows common mechanized infantry doctrine. So the IFV infantry units take less suppression in combat when near their infantry fighting vehicles. It doesn't have to be their own. This trait is granted to both infantry fighting vehicles and the troops they carry: fire teams, Motostrelki, BMP, Motsuchen, armed rifles, chasseurs, etc., etc. Next up is Special Forces. This unit represents the Army's creme de la creme, are highly trained professionals with well-equipped and with more combat experience than the regular troops. Special Forces units take less suppression in combat, move faster, deal more damage, and on top of the elite veterancy level they already have. Featured by all Special Forces, both rifles and recons. This includes Green Berets, Spetsnaz, SAS, LRS, Commandos, Fernspeer, and East German Fallschirmjäger, etc. GSR. This recon unit is equipped with a portable ground surveillance radar, detecting targets beyond visual range. Once deployed, it needs to remain stationary to function. GSR units receive +1 optics level when not moving. This trait is featured in small 4 to 6 men strong Special Forces recon squads, LRS, Fernspeer, SAS patrol. More units of this kind will be added later to some nations lacking them. Then there are Shock Troops. This unit features hardened soldiers specifically trained and equipped for close quarters battles, assault operations, and hand-to-hand combat. Shock units inflict more suppression when fighting close combat ranges, including woods and urban areas. The shock trait will apply to all airborne forces and combat engineers. Airborne. This unit is trained to be inserted into the battlefield through the air, highly mobile but lightly equipped. Airborne troops can be rapidly deployed ahead of the regular army. Airborne units can be deployed further ahead using the forward deployment, but only during the initial deployment phase. This trait can be found in all airborne forces and is already identified by the current parachute icon and the forward deployment mechanic. So no huge change there. Recon. This unit excels in reconnaissance, gathering intelligence, spotting targets. Recon troops are light units, masters in moving quickly on the battlefield and observing enemy units undetected. Recon units can deploy further ahead, but only during initial deployment phase. This trait is granted to all current recon forces as identified by the current goggle icon and the forward deployment mechanic. Then there is security. This is a second line infantry unit, is lightly equipped for combat, tasked instead with patrolling and securing the rear. These soldiers guard against enemy saboteurs and infiltration attempts. Security units increase the optics and identification levels to good when not moving, similar to recon units, although they remain classified as infantry. This trait will apply to several dedicated rear echelon troops, which can or not also carry the reservist trait. This includes Sicherungs, Vopos, Wachsuchen, FR Polizei Reserve, RAF rifles, etc. Amphibious. This vehicle is designed to operate on land and water. Thanks to their waterproof hull, they can slowly ford streams and cross rivers. Amphibious vehicles can enter and cross water at 1/3 their normal off-road speed. The trait identifies all vehicles able to cross water. And then we have transport. This vehicle is designed to move infantry units on the battlefield. Transports can range from fast jeeps to trucks and even helicopters. Transport units can carry infantry squads, groups or teams, and to better identify them, the trait is featured by all current transport units. Then there is the sniper. This unit contains highly trained sharpshooters who excel in infiltration tactics, camouflage and reconnaissance, equipped with powerful scoped sniper rifles. These specialist soldiers can engage targets at long ranges without being seen. Sniper units gain a +1 stealth when not moving. The trait is currently granted to no one, but we will include dedicated sniper units in all divisions in a single batch in the near future. Interesting picture. And that's it. They say see you on the battlefield. And I mean, that's really all to add to the video, guys. Go download the patch if you haven't already and enjoy it. It is the 1-year anniversary of WARNO today. Go have fun, enjoy the weekend. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there aren't too many crashing issues or anything with the patch. And, you know, Mad Matt, etc. will be there to assist if there are any issues. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.